to you from Australia, the land down under, for Revolution Radio on revolution.radio. Gonna love .radio. It's home to fresh ideas, unadulterated, also conversations in the chat room, and a place to get your merch if you want to do so. But you need to do that in the home page. So please, come on onto the homepage. Go to the chat. It's really fun. There's a whole bunch of people in there right now. You'll like it. You will like it a lot. This is show number 590. That's what I thought. 594, 490 and 500. Nigh on 600 shows. Oh my goodness. I can feel my knees. I really can. You can catch us on air, online, and on your smart device, or grab an app to listen anywhere, including the ISS while it's still up there. Or listen at home on a Grace Tabletop Digital Radio, if you have one. If you missed Solaris' show, that's okay. You should try to catch it, but it's okay. It's okay, because the archives are free and they're accessible. And today, she was having a session of the Cyber Witch Cafe with Nish. And if you did miss it, just go into the homepage. There's a little icon there that says archives. Get in there and indulge as much as you like, because it's free. Entirely free. Which brings me to the most important point. This is listener-funded radio, meaning you, the listener, can determine if we stay on the air. If you like what you're hearing, maybe you hate it so much, you love to hate it. Just want to keep us. I just love to hate to listen to this, guys. I just love to hate it. So donate if you can. Donate any kind of money. Crypto is good. Whatever you like, it's all good. But maybe you can't donate, and that's cool too. I mean, Jesus, I just had my credit card hacked. I tell you, that's not fun.
Oh,
that's
boy.
not fun at all. Not fun at all. This is a lot of money that just hopefully the bank is going to reimburse it. We'll see.
Was it a
We'll see.
restaurant?
Sorry?
I'll talk about it after the intro.
Yes, good man. In any event, if you can, good. If you can't, also okay. Tell your friends and family about it, though. The show, the radio station, whatever you like. And then maybe one of those good folk can donate. Okay, before we start broadcasting in anger, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from which we broadcast. And for Dave?
The Darkinjung.
Thank you, sir. And for myself, it's the Dark People. And with that, we'd like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and future. And you might hear Dave being a little nasally there. It's not SARS-CoV-2 or leprosy, for that matter. It is, he underwent a procedure, which I underwent when I was like 5, I think, or 4. And it ain't fun, Dave, is it?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty tough. And I love how we did the Seinfeld. It's only a procedure.
It's a procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, when I was, I suffered from really chronic nosebleeds, as did my father. Apparently, it's the curse of the
it runs in the
firstborn.
family.
Yeah, and in fact, my daughter has it. Believe it or not.
Yeah. My daughter
and
too.
It's a genetic thing, and so Dave did what I had done to me then, and it's not a fun thing. It takes a while to heal. It's actually a lot harder, I think, when you're older, because you're just more active and you just do more stuff, right? When you're a kid, you can just lie around and feel miserable. When you're an adult, well, I did.
What do we do as an adult?
Expect to suck it up, Dave. Suck it up.
Oh, because it appears as though I'm just doing the first choice.
Well, that's what they say. Oh, you're funny. Hey, look at all the people in the chat room. Joe Bear and Lavender Streams. I love Lavender Streams. That's brilliant. Lavender Streams.
Mace is there. Flippy.
Yes, sir.
I can see you, Mickey.
Hurrah! Hurrah!
Jerbo's there.
Oy vey. Oy vey.
I know I'm there because I can see all of you.
Well, look at your being here.
I feel like Miss Helena from Romper Room, and I can see you.
I feel like miscellaneous. That's what I feel like.
Miscellaneous. That would be a really cool drag name.
I know. Hey, it's miscellaneous. That's right, baby. Come, I show you all my tools. Oh, that's not PG. Anyway, what's going on? What's happening? Yeah, what you up to, man? Apart from suffering.
Yeah, well, suffering. Like all I did, I just took the suffering with me. For some reason, I packed it, and where my wife and I went down to the Highlands of New South Wales.
Nice.
Oh, the local ones, only down at Barrel.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. I mean, that's where Jimmy Barnes is. You don't know who Jimmy Barnes is. He lives down there. And it's something really cool. We had a Christmas in July camp out down there at the camping ground. So a whole bunch of friends. And they have like a camp kitchen. There's a camp kitchen, and it seats, I forget how many there were of us. There was at least 12, and that'll be important in a minute. And what was funny was it wasn't that cold. We got away with it, about 8 degrees higher than normal. So everything wasn't frozen. And there was all these gifts, and we had, like a raffle and all games and everything. It was really cool. I was going to say. And in Australia for Christmas, there's a song that must be played at Christmas, and I'm not talking, All I Want for Christmas and all of those.
It's you.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
The standard songs. No, we've got a song by Paul Kelly, Who's Gonna Make the Gravy, and it's kind of sad because the song is written from the perspective of a father who's in prison.
Oh.
And
Dark. Very dark.
Yeah, look, no, it is, but it isn't at the same time. It's very, maybe a little melancholy for a celebratory, thing, but it's good. What it does, it kind of gives you an introspective of a perspective that maybe you didn't know that you really should take it, take stock of where you are and what you have. So I think that it's kind of like saying grace for Christmas time, but it's a song, right? And it was in the top 40 and everything. It was a long time ago, and so we'll play that. We'll play it at our Christmas family dinner, and it's just a moment to remember who you got where and where are your loved ones and blah blah blah. It's actually pretty good. So, sung by Paul Kelly, of course. And so was ours. Ours had Paul Kelly singing along.
Very cool.
To Paul Kelly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. However, our Paul Kelly is not the Paul Kelly. He is a Paul Kelly. So, one of my friends is Paul Kelly, clearly. So, so I thought I'd make that joke and focus on the point there. So, yes, I'm still fully affected by pain, and I just took it with me, Mecky, and I brought it back again. I should have left it. You know how you leave things in hotel rooms? That would be good.
I do. Yes,
should have left it behind.
All right.
But I think we've eaten so well. I think I put weight on.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
Yeah. It's just so much food. I just remember, how at Christmas time, when you've eaten too much already,
mm-hmm.
and for those of you who might have a ham, and you have a knife plunged into the ham, and every time you go to the kitchen after you've declared that you couldn't possibly eat again until next year, then every time you walk in, you grab the knife and just grab another.
Just a little more.
Just a little more. Wafer thin, and you just cut some more ham off, and then plunge the knife out. And everyone who comes out of the kitchen, like who went to the kitchen with a plate or a cup, any excuse to go back to the kitchen again, will stroll out munching on a piece of ham. So it's just great. I'm just going to say. Anyway, yeah. So that was kind of my weekend. Yeah, we'd been planning this, and there was we did the 12. Was it the 12 gifts of Christmas raffle?
Nice.
So all the gifts were related to each of the phrases.
Very
5
nice.
gold rings, etc. Turtle doves, the whole thing. Yeah, it was pretty good. But they were creative presents based on the phrasing.
Very cool.
So I didn't get the swans that I thought I was going to get. No, I got a vodka. Swan vodka. Oh, goose. Is it something goose vodka? I forget what it was. Yeah. That was pretty good, man. I'm gonna tell you, enjoyed
All
it.
right.
Beautiful weekend for it to be out and about. Mickey, what were you up to?
Yesterday, what did I do? Saturday. Let me think for a second. I did something. I went somewhere and can't remember. Wow, I'm just sliding right into old age. I am.
It was yesterday.
Guess what happened yesterday? We went and did things. Far out. I think I saw my brother. A part of it, maybe not. Maybe it was Friday. It was a nice day though, and it's actually unseasonably warm at the moment here in Australia, in
Yeah.
Sydney at least. And in fact, so warm that I'm just t-shirt and shorts and window open when I'm driving. It's unusual. It's a very unusual kind of weather experience, I guess. Goes hand in hand. But remember though, we're in the middle, right smack bang in the middle of winter here. Now winter is not as bad as the northern hemisphere winter,
It was
but it gets
24
cold.
degrees today.
Yeah, it's like spring. Oh, I was driving today. I was driving to my brother's house in the morning, and while I'm driving, it's a fairly large stretch of national forest, Glen Cove National Forest, and the window was down. I was driving along, and I smelled spring. You know the smell that you get in the air, where you have it's just beautiful, the flowers and the trees and everything. It smelled like spring. And I go, holy moly. So a month early, mind you.
Yeah. So what, you know the Australian plant that goes yellow with flowers immediately upon the shift of into the other one into spring, and that was plentiful everywhere, way early than it should. It was
Weird, right?
It's like the Earth's already, twisting on its axis or some crazy thing.
Some crazy thing.
It's probably just the sun's output, to be honest. All the other stuff is nonsense. I was having a good discussion. All of my 1% of all of the emissions in Australia, blah blah blah, and then of that 1%, only 0.6% of that is private transportation, and yet the government is making us only change that. So if you look at the rest of the the 99% of all of the emitters, what are they doing with that? I asked, and they go, "What?" And I said, "Have you all drunk the Kool-Aid?" I'm just looking around. Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? And everyone's staring at me. Okay. Well, have you read the report that the government did? No. Okay.
You get reports now?
There's reports, yeah. So, yeah. I said, if you burn methane, it turns into carbon dioxide. And do you know that's better for the environment than the methane was? And they go, what? No. Because did you know they're banning, Becky, Victoria, they've set a hard date already on the installation of town gas, on natural gas.
Oh, really?
To people's houses.
Oh,
no new
Queensland
houses are going to be allowed to have natural gas.
Yep,
and then after a period of time, I don't know how many, like a decade or something or two, they're going to turn off natural gas in it's like
all new houses.
You're all mad.
As well. It's no more. In fact, it'll only be electricity, which is much better. Yeah. How do we think we get electricity, guys? How do we think that's happening? It's just magic, is it?
Yeah.
I find this astounding. Oh no! See what's gonna save our bacon? We're gonna be saved by
a meteor.
We're gonna be saved by Tesla cars. Tesla cars are gonna save us. That's what's gonna happen.
No,
right?
I've got a little theory here, Mackie.
Go on.
That what they've done is they've deployed this mechanism of guilt to the people in order for Elon Musk to be able to get the wealthy off this planet. Maybe. To Mars, right?
Yeah. I'm with you. It's possible.
Why has the ultra wealthy already decided to start the space flight on their own?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear the news story?
I don't hear an argument.
They're worried about Elon Musk's power in space. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, sure.
No. I mean, that was an actual news story that most of the nations in the world, whatever, are worried about his power in space.
I don't think he's going to suddenly start wearing an eye patch and stroking a cat in a large chair.
You know, he's already doing that. It's all good.
He's already doing it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting kind of scenario. But you look, it's a thing, right? I still can't remember what I did yesterday. That's just crazy, isn't it? I think it's crazy. What?
Oh, welcome to age.
I was driving my car.
Yes. That'll do.
That's a story I'm sticking with. What? Yeah, how about them apples? But no, it's certainly getting to where we are. Something is happening, and we discussed this during the week as well, Dave and I. Something is happening that is not good. Now, we're hearing all this disclosure stuff, and we're hearing about things we never heard before. We never thought the government would admit ever, or even
the powers. Not even. That's right.
Yeah. I never thought they would actually come and let us know about this stuff, but they did, right? So you have to ask yourself, why are we allowed to know this now? We still haven't got access to Tesla's inventions, mind you.
That's right.
That's a no-no. So that's not good. We don't have access to a whole bunch of anti-gravity research, which we know happened. We know it happened. We don't have access to it. A few other things. So Victor Schauberger, there's a few other patents out there which we don't have access to, but they will tell us now. Oh, we have what was it? Like extraterrestrial biologics. I'm not sure what that is, because biologics is not a word.
Well, it is now.
It is now, clearly.
Yeah.
It's like hypernopologics, snockelpuppels, schnackelflux. Yes, all good words. So it should really make you think as to why they're telling us what they're telling us now. And what they're telling us is actually a lot, considering. Now, none of it should be a surprise to anyone. It's not like, oh, what a shock that this thing is real. Because Dave and I, and I'm sure most of you out there, always thought, we know it's a thing. But it'd be nice if the government said, it's a thing. But it is a thing. And
so all they've done is repackaged the law, LORE, for those who don't know, and spat it in our face.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Pretty much.
And it's like all the other people like, oh my god, we're aliens. No, this is the same information we've heard for 30 years.
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're hearing it now, and now we believe that we're hearing it.
Now it must be true.
Yeah. And so Mickey, you're absolutely 100% right. And why are they telling us, and why now?
Yes, that's the question.
So, Mickey and I've certainly been postulating all different kinds of outcomes about why. And when I playfully say any of them, even in my own head, I go, oh, look, it's likely, or it's unlikely, or it's preposterous. What a stupid idea. I think they're still on the table. And at some point, they might tell us about is it MH17? I forget the flight number now.
317.
Which one?
317. MH317.
Yeah. So they might tell us the actual thing about what they found when they were scanning in the southern oceans. They might tell us maybe it's true. Maybe aliens accidentally ran into an alien ship or something. I don't know. I really don't know. There are so many mysteries on the planet which still are in our... That's a bit weird. Not in our life, but within our... say like the ranch, Becky.
I know.
Stuff coming out of the mesa.
Look, Ed, I don't know if you've... Look, I've been harping on about it for some time now. I get it, right? But the thing is this. I've never seen a documentary or program as open as this one, where this guy, Brandon Fugel, and I researched him as well. Yeah, he's actually a fairly large real estate magnate, and his brother is the CEO of like an aviation company. Not a big one, just a smallish one. But these are just folks. These are just guys like you and me. Only they were successful in business. They made some money, and he bought a Skinwalker Ranch of Ed Bigelow. And Ed Bigelow had more than one Skinwalker Ranch, which was news to me when I first heard about it. But he did. He had more than one. So he was conducting research at a number of different locations. And now there's a spin-off of the Skinwalker Ranch show, if you will.
Yeah, I saw that when they were getting beamed their own messages back at them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And they're going to all kinds of places. In fact, the reporter, he was on a TV show called Undisclosed or something, where he investigated paranormal stuff for the last couple of years as well. So he's actually been on the channel investigating stuff as well, which is interesting. But yeah, so look, it is happening. It is out there. We're being told stuff, and it is really quite something. And it seems that the phenomena, this is where we had the Unseen show earlier, the phenomena are faster than we can perceive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they move faster. And they also seem to be maybe in another spectrum, or the laws of physics as we understand them simply do not apply to them. Because like Dave said, this object flew into the top of the mesa. In fact, they say where the spiral is, a native stone spiral, which depicts a gateway, believe it or not, and came out of the mesa. And you can actually see it come out of the mesa, which I thought, oh, how extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going, huh. I mean, what else would you say? It's like, huh. I was quite, I was surprised. Going, oh, this is different. I didn't expect that, and yet there it was. I saw it, right, and all of a sudden, this everything becomes very real, right, and you understand that there's a lot more going on than you can possibly imagine. And again, the question becomes, why are they telling us this now? What is happening, or what is about to happen, right?
Yeah, for me, for this to be so large, I think that when they say disclosure, I think it's just aiming for acceptance that it's all real, without really telling us any further details. Just accept it. It is real. Yeah, that's all we're saying. Saying it's real, and then the follow-up question. So what is it? Oh, we can't tell you that, but I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to repeat the words. It is real. It is really going on. So I think that's really what's going to happen. And, honest, if the US presidential elections coming up are at all affected by it, it's going to be something like RFK saying, well, the moment I get in, I'm just going to, mandate that all the records are provided to the public without being classified. And there's no, what's the word, Becky? Where you get one word written on a page and everything else
redacted.
is blacked out.
No redaction.
No redaction. Yeah, that's right. So, if he could do that, well, then I think he's going to end up like all the other Kennedys, right?
Yeah.
Is all of this right now? Because it doesn't seem. I don't think it is, but there's a lot of memes going around suggesting that it's just to distract us from the Hunter Biden trial that's on.
Yeah.
Look, you can believe whatever you want. And because you will. There's nothing we can say that's going to sway you either way on it. But I look at it and go, oh, that's probably true too. But what are the actual ramifications of knowing that it's real? And what is their purpose for telling us? Because what's truly the outcome? Is there an alien fleet flying towards us at unbelievable rates within the galaxy or something? No, I don't think that would be the case. Because I don't think that's how you get around in space anyway. You probably just appear. Maybe they've...
Well, we
maybe
know
they've-
that that's what's happening. They just appear. That's exactly right, Dave. We've seen it. It's
Yeah.
not like we haven't seen it. We don't have to speculate. That's absolutely exactly what happens. Wormhole technology, whatever, great ways
Yeah.
of portals, absolutely,
Uh-huh.
Dave, 100%.
So, has a certain treaty come to the its end, and that it's at some point, like let's hand over Hong Kong back to China, right? Is there an expiration date on it that's looming, and they've got to get all of this out of the way, otherwise?
Maybe.
But you said aliens weren't real. Oh yeah, we lied. We lied, and
Just live with it. Grow up. Wear your big boy pants. Oh, okay.
And so, why is an alien, pushing our people aside to be head of the planet? What do you mean they're establishing their own law? What? No, I kid. But if something was truly happening, maybe they just can't afford the secrecy anymore. Maybe it's just too big. Maybe. they'd like this, Men in Black style of holiday destination for aliens. Maybe they got a really tremendous offer. From some alien, advertising company going, well, we've put the banners up, mate. They're all coming. So, good luck with that.
Yeah, we're kind of ready. So if you're good to go, right? Come on.
You're good to go. We're good to go. What?
Everyone. What? What does that mean? I'm not ready. Good to go for what?
Well, maybe there's a bypass, Mickey.
It's been hanging there for 12 years. If you can't even take an interest in your local affairs, what hope do you have? What? Who said that?
There must be a reason why they're telling us all in such urgency. Because there must be something happening.
I think what you just said is probably of critical importance to understand the urgency with which this seems to be happening. It does feel like it's happening with a certain level of urgency. Because we're being bombarded over the last... Because look, as Dave, we've been following this very closely for many, many years. Over the last couple of years, I would say probably as SARS-CoV-2 was in full swing in 2020, that's when it started to hit us really hard with a whole bunch of stuff and a lot of actual information, not just blah, blah, but actual information coming our way. Which before had all been denied, and no, that's not true. This is a lie. This is swamp gas. It's a low-flying Venus, whatever.
It's Swamp Venus.
Swamp Venus. What? Who said
that?
And now, no. I mean, we just this week. I don't know if you guys followed this on any news network, really. We had three gentlemen giving evidence before Congress.
In the congressional subcommittee.
Yeah. And unlike NASA, which said, no, we need more funding.
That's can you get a coffee on it? We need more funding. Can you investigate UFOs? Need more funding. Where's that coffee I asked you for? Right?
Yeah. More funding.
Yeah, more funding. And then you go, but the UFO thing. Look, I'm just going to tell you right now, there is no evidence. And they're saying those words while these other people are going, everyone knows. I mean, everyone knows this is happening. And that's just like, what? With these blinkers on, I can barely, see what's in front of me.
And the kicker is this. NASA gave this program $100,000. Right? They said, we got $100,000 and we're going to look for evidence of these things. Now, I know for a fact, because I know some people, but I mean, you can find out for yourself. $100,000 is not going to buy you anything at all.
Not anything.
Nothing.
It'll get you a work experience, kid, and not even a PM, one day a week.
If you're lucky. Yeah. And you're gonna uncover exactly nothing. $100,000. Well, most people think, "Oh, that's a lot of money." No, it really is not a lot of money. At least not in those circles, right?
You couldn't even afford the interns' food like the union, what's that? I forget all the terms, Becky. So you were required to be tea and biscuits, right?
Yeah.
Meal money, your meal allowances.
Okay.
Right? And just an intern who worked for free, you couldn't in a year be able to manage that project and have the intern do all of the work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally preposterous.
It is. It is ridiculous. It's complete. It's actually funny in a farcical way. So, but like I said, the Brendan Fugel spends his own money, and he's making some money from the TV show, I'm sure.
Yes.
But he spends his own money. He brings all this equipment. I mean, he sends
that was
stuff
funded.
Like there's no tomorrow, right?
That's right.
And he all other kinds of experts and high cutting edge technology as well to get close to this phenomenon. But I can't help but this is what I think we're doing, Dave. This is what I think we're doing. I think we are sitting outside an electric fence, banging our rocks together, and marveling at the sparks they produce. And some of those sparks are hitting the fence. Like, oh look, they're hitting the fence. And behind the fence, there's this massive wall which we can't see through. And then we're taking those very same rocks that just sparked, we're throwing them at the fence, and we're trying to determine what's behind the wall.
That's right.
And that's what I fear we may be doing right now. Because clearly, or at least the way it seems to me, is the rift, the gap between that technology and our technology as we know it, not what is probably there, but what we know, right, is just massive. It's a massive gap. And I mean, think about this. From a very simple point of view, and I think we discussed this, two things. One, they seem to have energy systems that are possibly zero-point energy, right? Yep. Possibly, because there seems to be no exhaust, there seems to be no propulsion that we can see. There's just nothing that would indicate any source of power at all, right? Secondly, they have mastered gravity. So in order to pull the maneuvers that are being pulled by these craft with the biological pilot inside, is actually impossible, because you need something what Star Trek refers to as inertial dampener, because you'd be catch-up inside if you actually
totally
flew these maneuvers as a human being in any kind of craft. So they're so far ahead of us, at least in that space, that we wouldn't understand. I mean, some people say that Velcro came out of reverse engineering. Some of the
fiber
the
optics,
microchip. Yeah.
Microchip.
Is that true?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, no. But
it's all lore, part of lore.
Yeah.
But yes,
and
they gave small parts of some of these vehicles to a number of either already existing companies or to brand new startups that they created with the only intention of researching into it.
So think about that for a second, everybody. I mean, we had a computer that Alan Turing. It was actually mechanical. It's a mechanical Turing machine, and within a few decades, I mean only a few decades, we went to nanochips. Forget microchips. Get nanochips. We were thinking of the next evolution of technology now, right? The leap is phenomenal. I don't know if you remember these old black and white pictures, Dave, of the first IBM computers that came to NASA.
Yeah, totally.
They came in a truck. In fact, the hard drive was a 5 megabyte hard drive. I think it took 4 or 5 guys to lift.
Yeah.
Now I've got the size of my fingernail, a little SD card. SD is a memory card, and I think it's I want to say
32 terabytes or something.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The size of my fingernail.
Oh yeah, and most of that's just plastic.
Yeah.
For the format of the size of the thing. Yeah, that's right.
And this is magnitudes more storage than the 5 megabytes that NASA first. In fact, initially NASA didn't use the computer. You know why? Because no one could figure out how to use it. That's funny. But yeah, it's a thing, and it really is. It's sort of humbling to think I mean, I'd like to think that we could have got there ourselves. I just don't know that we could have gotten there so quickly. So I do believe that a lot of reverse engineering happened. And the Nazis, certainly, in my opinion, right, had a lot of tech that came from somewhere. Right? And Hitler deliberately went to seek it out as well. Okay. So this we know that he did. We know these expeditions were real. We know. It's not made up. We know that he did that. And maybe he did find something. I would say he did find something. And in the Antarctic, in the Himalayas, I don't know. In South America, possibly. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff that we still don't know. Even though it seems like disclosure has happened, and oh, look at us, we know all things now, and we're so good. Well, no, as Dave has said, right? What is coming? What is heading our way? And I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm with you. It's an extraordinary topic, and we're just going to have to watch this space and see what happens next. And on it. So, pardon me. There was a story, Mickey, that I sent you.
Yeah.
About, I think it was the FDA were reviewing the date of CRISPR, the Therapeutics AG exa-cell, for the treatment of patients with severe sickle cell disease. And it's been set for December 8th this year. So that means you'd be able to receive an injection which alters your DNA. That's what CRISPR is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, as a technology, it's mind-blowing. What it can do, equally mind-blowing, the levels of healing it can achieve. But that's something, that's next level. That's next level. Crazy.
So, the FDA review date of exa-cell for the treatment of patients with transfusion-dependent beta thalassemia had been set for March 30 for next year.
Wow.
And
so, now, just to put this in perspective, are we looking at the end of genetically transmitted or genetically inherited diseases? Are we looking at the end of cancer? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what's happening?
I don't want it to be a point where whoever goes to develop it sneezes and puts the wrong cleavage point and it's going to change everyone. It's going to change the person's DNA for sure, right? It's going to do it. It's going to do it. Don't worry about it. But Mackie, one thing that keeps coming back to the first story we raised tonight, and that is in the 80s, the abductees' messages weren't of peace, love, and unity. They're examining us, and they've come to get our clean DNA, our unmodified DNA. And everyone then went, what? What kind of stupid... No one's modifying DNA. Well, now we are. So, you just jump back in time to a certain spot, and maybe it is us, Mackie, in some regards. Maybe one of the alien species visiting us is actually time traveling us to try and fix it.
I would look. So, yes, it's the short answer. I completely agree, and I think it's also very interesting because what they're doing is that they're taking samples, and it would also explain, to be honest with you, why cattle mutilations. And it's not just cattle mutilations, but I don't know if you noticed, but marine life has also been, especially sharks, believe it or not, have been sort of mutilated and dissected. Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh.
I didn't know until I came across it fairly recently. So it seems now let's just run some water through this, Dave. Let's say we CRISPR goes ahead, and we all go nuts with the genetic modifications, and we do this and we do that, and not knowing what we're doing, obviously, because we're like a kid in a candy store with a flamethrower. No idea what we're doing. except we crisping up all the nice candy, and crisping. See what I did there?
I did.
And anyway, but as we are, because that's just who we are. We can't help ourselves, right? We just go ahead and do all the things that we do. And then afterwards we think worry about the consequences. Oppenheimer is a really good movie that way, because the truth is before they tested the very first atomic bomb, they didn't know what's going to happen. Some scientists thought we could set the atmosphere on fire. Just keep that in mind for a second.
Yeah, set off a runaway.
Yeah,
that's right.
Chain reaction, 100%. We didn't know. We had no idea. We were splitting the atom. What does that mean? I don't really know. And now with this, where we have a fairly good idea of what could happen. Now we're changing genetic material in vivo, in live genetic material,
Yeah, right.
living creatures. What are the knock-on effects? What could happen? Are we damaging the DNA? Are we flipping a switch? Maybe that. Look, again, let's take a step back here. Dave and I both believe that we have been tampered with, and we don't actually represent the first race yet. We're not the Adamo. Okay. Now, people have, in Dave's and my belief, our DNA has been tampered with. Make us short, don't live as long, etc., etc. Wouldn't you, if you had that capability, to alter someone's DNA, wouldn't you build in a fail-safe if they try to alter the DNA themselves to restore it back to what it should be, or make some modifications? Is it not possible that our DNA is booby-trapped? I know now we're moving into science fiction here. I get it. But let's say CRISPR does something and on a large scale, and something significant, not a little bit here, a little bit there, right? But something significant, and significant enough now for the booby trap to be sprung.
Yeah.
What could happen? Just imagine.
Oh wow! Yes,
but
that booby trap wasn't put there by us.
Well, that's the point.
I hear you.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that's what that's. I'm just speculating here because.
What a great concept.
I know, but yeah, it is. But again, in polite conversation among scientists, this would never come up. I would be committed into an insane asylum, because that's clearly crazy, Mackie. You're crazy. Well, am I? Am I crazy? Am I really crazy? Let's just see. Or do it slowly, because if they are from the future, again, we're running water through this whole thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And something went wrong, be it a booby-trapped DNA or not, doesn't matter, but something went wrong. And CRISPR did more or less, or something that we didn't expect. And we have now damaged DNA. People might be more susceptible to all kinds of diseases, maybe mutations, maybe, God knows what, right?
I was sure that was the gene, right?
Yeah, come on, buddy. Right? And what do we do? Because maybe we're living in a world where there is no pure DNA left anymore. Maybe it took a while for this malfunction to actually occur. In fact, it only occurred after everybody had been, maybe tampered with. Maybe it's like Monsanto. Monsanto has got these GMO seeds, right?
Yes.
And they've got a farm next, and you've got an organic farm, for argument's sake. Like you're a farmer, you want organic farm, you got rye and barley, whatever, but it's organic.
Yeah.
But what will happen is the Monsanto seed is going to blow over, right? And it will fertilize your plants, and then Monsanto is going to sue you because you've stolen their seeds, which of course you haven't.
It
happened exactly. It happened. But my point here is that you didn't want it to happen to you, but it happened to you anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
So the thing is, if people have genetic modifications and they get married to other people, this could be a generational thing as well, right? And maybe there's no law of disclosure. Maybe they don't have to tell you that they're genetically modified. Maybe there's two classes of people: the GMOs and the ones that are not, or the GMPs.
I think the Olympics is going to be exciting.
Right? Exactly. Boom. There's another thing right there. What's the point of the Olympics anymore? There's no point at all.
It's who can you make faster.
Yeah. So it's the whole thing sort of becomes mute, or rather moot. Moot. It's a moot point now. But just imagine that we all interbreed, and some of us have genetic modification, some don't, and we'd never know. And eventually, the entire human race has it. And luckily for us, time travel is a thing, and there's an Einstein-Rosen bridge, and there's a Lorentzian wormhole, and we can travel back in time, and all kinds of wonderful things. Where do we go? Well, we got a really pressing issue here. And if you think about the Men in Black, just for a second, who seem to be all waxen and expressionless, and no hair, and just oddly behaved as well.
Misuse of colloquialisms.
Yeah. So maybe someone from the future who, and then maybe one of the modifications or one of the things that went wrong. Well, you lost all your hair, or you lost all your pigmentation because they're all reported to be extremely pale. There are no black men in black, as opposed to the movie. All the men in black are like a waxy whitish color, they say. Right? Maybe that's one of the, maybe you lost the melanin. I don't know, but it's certainly worrying, Dave. It's a bit of a worry.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, look, I found that story interesting. My daughter could have an injection to make her lungs where she needs to have anti-rejection medication. They could correct the DNA that makes those lungs match her DNA.
Wow.
You've got to think about how good that is.
Oh, no, that's phenomenal.
Right? They could do that. I'm not saying they will, but this is the beginning, and it's certainly the beginning of theirs. And if you're going to put, this is not financial advice. The article itself, from SeekingAlpha.com, was saying they might be a good place to research if you're interested in putting some money somewhere. They're being very careful to how they word it. But they're saying exceptional. You can read the blah this and that. I think there's going to be some punters that think that way and jump in early, for sure, because if it does work, then and it will, because that's just how easy it is to do that. Now, there's some dispute about how many doses you may need to have versus a one shot, and is it for life? Do you need to, like, for perpetuity? How does it change your originating DNA? So any stem cell anywhere from anyone placed next to a cell in your body after post correction shot, which one will it get? Will it get your originating one, or will it get the cleaved site version? So I wonder. It's really interesting. It's certainly the way forward, because there's enough expanse now, making it a footprint for these companies to be able to cure everything there is.
Yes.
And I thought, instead of your idea, which I love the idea, by the way, instead of your idea of there being a tripwire, maybe, or a booby trap, right? Maybe that's the next thing that happens. Maybe there is we know which gene it is. We were just, let's just make us all live forever.
Yeah.
And make that like $1 billion entry fee into that club.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of a sudden,
and then would they tell anyone?
Well, they can't. That's the problem. You see, you can't tell anyone. The reason you can't tell anyone is because then everybody wants it, and then you got a problem, right? Because the truth is this: unfortunately, if we had, and I do believe that practical immortality or longevity is a real thing. I do believe that, right?
Totally.
The problem, of course, is that you can't have it. What do I mean by that? You can't have it because if everybody had it, it would be catastrophic. At least for now, unless we've got functional space travel and starting to colonize the cosmos. Once we've done that, sweet bananas.
If you wanted to go somewhere across the universe and it's going to take forever, you could go there in your generation.
100%. But right now, yeah, you could. But right now, if we were to let's say release immortality onto an unsuspecting world. Let's say we were.
Yeah.
What would happen? What would happen is that we would probably destroy ourselves because it's just too many people. right? And at that point, if nobody died, just run this through, right? If nobody died, think about that for a second. I mean, holy moly.
That world population counter is just going to go up.
Like, oh, what's happening here? Well, you don't want to know, right?
What's the prime minister of that country that just said, like, you know, today you can just go out and shoot a drug dealer?
Oh, in the Philippines. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, what?
They'd have those days. They'd bring that back. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the purge becomes a
the purge,
not a viable scenario, but maybe a real scenario. You know, I don't know. It's like what's going on here, guys? Hello.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, that's what happened. So it's not all honey cakes and rainbows here, right? We got to be careful with this, and it's a problem. It really is. We need to watch out for the unintended consequences. I love this. The law of unintended consequences, right? Because it's a real thing. You do stuff, and then something happens that you completely didn't foresee. Oh, I never meant for that to happen. Oh, really? Well, I feel much better now. Thank you. You didn't mean to blow up the planet. That's good. Well, you did blow it up. So, you know, that's what happened.
So, you know, thinking it's what is it? Only A, B, C, and what's the other letter in DNA? Oh, I can't remember.
F
or something.
Let's go F or G.
G. Okay, so if it's only C, D, G, whatever, if it's only those characters and they have a mechanism, this is how it works, right? So they'll make a strand that lines up next to your DNA and it'll match itself to it, but with a change in the string. Cleave out the gap for itself and replace itself with that. That's how it changes your DNA. And could you imagine if there were, because, you know, 8 billion, there's a few of us, so if there was a matching DNA strand that was in a different place, it just happened to be in a different place in the DNA, and it has a completely different function. I mean, totally different function. Does something else. You know, it makes you have blue skin or something, right? Or suddenly you can see in the dark. If it was able to do something like that accidentally, then I wonder how that would turn out. Because
absolutely, yeah.
Because apparently there was no cleavage of you know, human DNA in something that big thing that just happened a couple of years ago. If there was, and it was a marker to say that you did or didn't have it, that would be pretty clever. That's like the coder, you know, writing their name written by blah 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 deep inside the code. You're kidding. That's so fast. Okay, so guess what? This is the end of the first hour of Dave and Mecky's Shiny Side Out. Coming up next is, again, us, but it will be a show where we talk about the Confucian Languages, Part 5. And if you're listening on YouTube, do like and subscribe, but you'll have to, when this video ends, you'll have to find the next one. All right? Don't hate us, and we'll see you after the very short break.